Level 1. The Fisher. May 8th, 2015. It's a warm Friday in spring. You're sitting in an office, maybe drinking lukewarm coffee, and your job is simple. You're waiting for a click. You've sent out dozens of emails to members of the German parliament. They look official, like they're from the United Nations, and the subject line is about the economic situation in Ukraine. It's a red-hot topic, and you know people are curious. You don't need a master key yet. You just need one person, like Claudia Height, an assistant to a member of the Bundestag, to be curious enough. She clicks. There are no pop-ups, no warnings, no matrix green text scrolling down her screen. The malware installs itself silently in the background. To Claudia, it just looks like her computer is acting a bit weird. The accent over a colleague's name isn't working in Word. She calls the internal IT hotline and they don't take her seriously. That's your window. You're not just a hacker, you're a ghost. You now have a digital master key to the heart of a European government, and no one even knows you've walked through the door.
Level 2. The Physical Proximity Operator. Now it's April 10th, 2018, and you're no longer behind a remote screen. You're on a passenger plane from Moscow, landing at Schiphol Airport in the Netherlands. You're part of a 4-man team. 2 of you handle reconnaissance, and 2 of you are the hackers. You look like typical business travelers, diplomatic passports, sharp clothes. You aren't here to send an email. You're here to get close. You rent a small car, buy a heavy-duty battery at an electronics store, and drive to the Marriott Hotel in The Hague. Why? Because the building next door is the OPCW, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. They're investigating a poisoning involving a nerve agent called Novichok, and your bosses want that data. You park the car with the trunk facing the building. Inside that trunk is a computer powered by the battery you just bought. Under a jacket in the front seat, you've hidden a flat-panel Wi-Fi antenna. You're mimicking the OPCW's real Wi-Fi network. You're waiting for a device inside to auto-connect to your fake signal so you can steal their credentials. Journalists will later call you the cleaning crew because you show up after a mess to spin the story. You're a civil servant on a schedule, but your office is a cramped car in a hotel parking lot. Level 3. The Lateral Mover. You've moved past simple entry. Now you're an advanced persistent threat, APT. You're patient. After getting into the Bundestag network, you don't just grab a file and run. You move laterally. You jump from computer to computer, scanning for the most valuable data. You find 2 machines in a parliamentary office, not just any office, but the office of Chancellor Angela Merkel. To extract her emails, you write a custom program called VSC.exe. But even experts make mistakes. You're in a rush, maybe nervous. In your code, you need the program to find a specific file path that includes the German word for abort, which has an You forget to tell the program to expect German characters. The program stumbles, the character shows up as a garbled symbol, and for a second, the whole operation is at risk. You rewrite it. It works, and you copy the inbox. But you left something behind. The name of the computer you were working on is still in the code. Your handle, your alias, is right there in the path. See users Scaramouche. You're a high priority target now, even if you don't know it yet. Level 4. The Saboteur. It's February 24th, 2022. You're at your desk in the aquarium, the GRU headquarters in Moscow. It's early, and the world is about to change. You are part of a unit known as Sandworm, or Voodoo Bear. For months, you've been preparing for this moment. You're not just stealing emails anymore. You're breaking things. While the first missiles are hitting Ukrainian cities, you're hitting their communications. You target Viasat, a satellite internet provider. You've already infiltrated their systems months ago. With a few clicks, you send a command to thousands of modems. It forces them to download code that wipes their login credentials. Suddenly, 30,000 modems across Europe, from wind turbines in Germany to military installations in Ukraine, become e-waste. They can't connect, they can't authenticate, and they go dark. In the middle of an invasion, you've cut the command dashboards to black. This is cyber warfare as a weapon of physical destruction. Level 5. The Master of Stealth. While other groups like Fancy Bear are loud and aggressive, you, Cozy Bear, are the quiet professional. You've been inside the Democratic National Committee, DNC network, since June 2015, far longer than anyone else. You're so methodical and quiet that even the other Russian hackers who break in later don't know you're there. You don't leave a trace. You're just watching. But what you don't know is that Dutch intelligence has hacked the surveillance cameras in your own building in Moscow. They are literally watching you through your own security cameras as you work. They warn the Americans, but the warning lands with a low-level IT staffer and is ignored for months. You are the ghost in the machine, living in their servers for over a year, and if no one had looked closely, you might have stayed there forever.
Level 6. The infiltrator. Supply chain. You realize that hacking a front door is hard, so you decide to hack the foundation. This is the long game. You identify a small, vital piece of software that the entire internet relies on, a compression tool called XZ. It's maintained by one guy in Finland, Lasse Colin, who's been doing it for free for 20 years and is burning out. You don't use a virus. You use social engineering. You create a persona, Gia Tan. For 2.5 years, you are the perfect helper elf. You submit helpful patches. You're responsive and you're kind. You even have sock puppet accounts, fake identities you've manufactured to pressure Lasse into giving you more control. Eventually, he trusts you and makes you a maintainer. Now you can start weaving your trap. You hide your malicious payload inside binary blobs, large lumps of data used for testing that no human ever reads. You use a complex iFunk resolver to slip your code into the system at a very precise moment, the Goldilocks zone. It's after the real security code is loaded, but before the system locks it down. You've built a back door into OpenSSH. This isn't just a hack, it's a master key to millions of servers on the internet. You were weeks away from a doomsday on the internet before a developer noticed a tiny half-second slowdown in his connection.
Level 7. The strategic lieutenant. You don't just control code, you control the narrative. You are the bridge between the hackers and the world. You sit in a war room with maps covering 3 walls. You take the data stolen by the operators, the 16 gigabytes from the Bundestag or the 50,000 emails from John Podesta, and you decide how to weaponize it. You create websites like dcleaks.com or invent fake personas like Guccifer 2.0, a supposed Romanian lone wolf. You don't release everything at once. You use a constant drip of leaks to dominate the news cycle and keep your targets on the defensive. You coordinate with digital armies of trolls to fan the flames of chaos on social media. This is hybrid warfare. You aren't just trying to steal secrets, you're trying to erode public trust in democracy itself. You are calculated. You have 30 seconds to recommend a strategy to the top leadership, and if you get it wrong, the consequences are more than just a deleted account.
Level 8. The Ghost of the State. You have reached the top. Your name is Dmitry Badin, or maybe it's a name the world hasn't heard yet. You're 32 years old. You have a daughter, and you live south of Moscow. You listen to Russian rock and techno while you work, and you're a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. To the world, you're a dangerous hacker, but to your government, you're a civil servant. You have a $15 million bounty on your head, and much of the world is now off limits to you. You've been indicted by the US Department of Justice, but you're safe in Russia. Your leader tells the world he couldn't care less about the accusations. You've seen the inside of the chancellor's inbox and the heart of the American election machine. You've watched as empires of data you helped build were dismantled piece by piece, but you've already changed history. You remember when you were just a kid who wanted more, and now you're the most wanted man in the world. This is what it's like to be every rank in a state-backed hacking operation.